Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about what to do when you're not seeing movement in the 3D, okay? First of all, don't even affirm that. I know you clicked on this video because there's some other reality that you're living in where you're not seeing movement in the 3D, but there is a reality, the real reality, where you have everything you want, right? You have your specific person, you have that dream job, you have just your ideal life and your ideal relationship, okay? But for the purposes of this 3D that you're in, if you're not seeing movement, there are a couple of things you can do to change that. Before I get started with talking about what to do, first of all, like I said, don't give too much thought to the fact that you're not seeing things changing or shifting in your 3D. Okay, there are always things that are happening. Okay, things are always working behind the scenes. There is movement happening right now. Just because you can't see it does not mean it doesn't exist. Okay, manifesting isn't even logical. Like, yes, I know I talk about the neuroscience or just like the science behind manifestation and how it works, but at the end of the day, I mean, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just have to know that it's coming to you. You just have to understand that, like, look, your manifestation is on its way to you right now. If you needed any confirmation, which ideally you shouldn't, I mean, sometimes it's okay, which I'm going to talk about. This is your confirmation. Okay, this is your sign that you are going to be getting your manifestation. Your SP is conforming as you are watching this. Okay, they are making sure that they're going to appear as the best version of themselves. Okay, your SP is a lot closer to you than you think. The relationship that you want with your SP is a lot closer to you than you think, because your SP is not outside of you. Okay, there's nothing outside of you. You are the universe experiencing itself, like Alan Watts said. Okay, I've really been digging that quote, and that's the mentality that you have to have. Okay, you have to understand that nothing is beyond your reach, because you are everything. Okay, no amount of retrogrades, no amount of planetary transits, no amount of whatever you see in the 3D that you feel like is working against you actually has any power unless you give it power. Okay, you don't have to give any sort of power to anything that you see that you don't like your SP following people on Instagram, or flirting with people, or whatever you see. Okay, so just don't even worry about that. Don't worry about that. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and get started and give you some notes. Okay, I literally like planned out this video. I have my notebook, my handy dandy notebook here, and then I have my iPad. Okay, like I was literally using my beautiful Apple Pencil. I don't know, I said beautiful. Like I just love this Apple Pencil. It's so convenient. But I have a whole video planned out for you. Okay, these are some tips that you should use if you are not seeing movement. Okay, again, like, don't affirm that too much. I'm just saying that for the purposes of this video. Okay, there is always movement happening. Things are shifting in your favor always, as long as you affirm, as long as you want the thing that you want, or as long as you still want your desires, you're going to get them. Okay, sometimes, like, they'll come to you even when you stop affirming, even when you don't care. But that's the thing, you don't have to not care to want your desires. Here on this channel, we debunk limiting beliefs. Okay, because we're using the law of assumption, not the law of attraction. You don't have to let go of your manifestations. You don't have to not want the thing anymore. You don't have to stop caring. In fact, when you stop caring about something, yeah, sometimes it will come to you, but like, if you want something, why would you not want to affirm for that? In fact, what you focus on is what grows. Okay, where your attention goes, that's where energy flows, and what you focus on is what you grow. Okay, in fact, if you don't want something in your reality, okay, if you want something to actually go away from your reality, that's when you stop focusing on it. That's when you don't give it any power, any meaning. Okay, so if you want your SP, there's nothing wrong with wanting, first of all, like, wanting them, feeling the feels. Okay, you do not by any means have to let go of the desire. You just have to let go of the resistance. That's what letting go means. I also do have a video on what letting go means, where I explain that more in depth, so check that out. It's on if you go to my channel, if you go to playlist, you will see that I have a whole law of assumption or manifestation using law of assumption playlist, so do check that out. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and get into the video. So the first point that I have is fear versus faith. Okay, fear includes reacting, okay, victim mentality, doubt, and anxiety. So one reason you might not be seeing things in the 3D just yet is because you could have some sort of underlying fears about something. You could be anxious about maybe something that you saw in the 3D, or maybe even just some limiting beliefs you have about love and relationships, or something that you noticed about your person. Maybe if you're in separation with them, you notice that, like, oh, you know, you've been thinking about your person a lot, and you notice that they're only into a certain type of person with a certain type of hair, or like, you know, they're only into like people like this and that, and like you don't match that, and like you start like doubting yourself. Please stop doing that. Okay, I'm telling you off the bat, your SP loves you the way that you are. You're amazing the way that you are. You're beautiful. You are desired. You're handsome. You're attractive. You're intelligent. You're wise. You're capable. You're successful. You're knowledgeable. You're wise. Okay, you're amazing just the way you are. Please, everything that I just said, say this to yourself. Say these affirmations to yourself. Okay? You do not have to be worrying about whether or not your SP likes you, or is into you, or is, you know, into someone that looks like you, or is like you, or like whatever doubts and fears you may have. Okay, I have helped people manifest. I have had like, you know, manifesting buddies. I am probably going to open up coaching sometime soon. I do offer that on my Etsy. You can check that out in the description box below, but I'll open that up more extensively at some point. But you know, a lot of the times when you talk to people about your manifestation, you're able to really pinpoint their limiting beliefs. And, you know, I had a couple of people that I talked to that literally said, like, oh, I don't even know if my SP's into me anymore. It's been so long since we talked. Circumstances don't matter. I don't care if it's been like 1 year or 2 years, if it's been a couple days, none of that matters. Okay, even if they live like far away, none of that matters. I've heard of people literally moving across the world to live with their loved one. Okay, if they can do that, okay, you can do that as well. Okay, or you can have that done to you as well, or for you. You have to stop giving power to these circumstances. You have to stop giving power to your fear. Your fear is just an illusion. 3D is just an illusion. Fear is just some like random thought that you have. You know, we have 60,000 thoughts a day, but for whatever reason, the human mind, and you know, this is an assumption that I'm definitely trying to change, the human mind does tend to focus a lot on the negative. But imagine if all the focus, attention, energy that you're putting on the negative, if you shifted that to the positive, imagine what would happen. Okay, the next point here is faith. So fear versus faith. Faith is all about trust in the unknown and belief. Believe that manifestation works. Okay, believe that manifestation is always working in your favor, even if you don't believe in your actual manifestations, even if you don't believe sorry, I was getting a little bit like cold here. Even if you don't believe or can't feel, you know, your manifestations, all you have to do is believe that manifestation works. It is working in your favor right now as you're watching this video. Okay, your SP is conforming to you. All your desires are conforming to you. Okay, they are everything that you want to see in the 3D. You are going to see. You are going to get. There's nothing and no one that can stop it except you. Okay, you'd be surprised at the way that, you know, things shift and change when you start manifesting, when you really start believing in the power of manifesting, when you start believing in your power as the operant power in your reality. Okay, I say this a lot in my videos, but you have to understand that you are the sole creator of your life. You have to have faith and conviction that you do have the power to create, you have the power to manifest exactly what you want, and that you have to stop giving your power to anything outside of you. Okay, there is no universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. There's no, like, you know, angel guides or whatever. I mean, I do talk about that in my, you know, tarot readings, but I always say that, like, everything that you believe in, like, you know, your spirit guides, universe, whatever, that is actually just you. Okay, you are that. You have that within you, because again, nothing is outside of you. Okay, any sort of, like, you know, again, I do talk about astrology and tarot on my channel, but even retrogrades and, you know, like Venus retrogrades, Mercury retrogrades, like, I like learning about them just to, you know, I guess I like learning about the planets and things like that, but I don't give any meaning to them. Okay, I don't really think that during Mercury retrogrades communication goes haywire, because guess what, I've been manifesting my entire life. Okay, and if I were to pinpoint every single Mercury retrograde that happened from the moment that I was born, I really don't think I would be able to see some sort of pattern of things happening during retrogrades. For sure, I have gone through, I think retrogrades happen like, what, a couple times a year. Well, it depends on the planet, and I don't think things have happened during that exact time of the year. Like, if I were to go back and, like, you know, analyze it, I don't think it would make sense, because again, manifestation is not logical. Okay, whatever you believe in, whatever you assume will manifest. If you assume that things will go haywire during the retrogrades, that is what will happen. Okay, just whatever your dominant thoughts, whatever your dominant assumptions are, will manifest. If you assume the opposite, if you say, like, hey, actually, I see Mercury retrograde as a positive thing, the rest of the world might see it as a negative thing, but I actually see it as a positive thing. I have noticed that a lot of the things that I started, they came to fruition during the Mercury retrograde. Okay, things did end up working out. There are some things that I started during Mercury retrograde that still came to fruition, that still became successful. I actually got like my job offer. I still have this job. Like I got double promoted. I always say that in all of my videos. Sorry, self flex here, but I got my job during Mercury retrograde in 2019. I still have that job, and I'm doing really well. Okay, so just anything that is fear mongering, do not give power to. Okay, you're not cursed. No one's putting a spell on you. No one is dispelling negative energy onto you. In fact, even if someone were to say something rude to you right now, or comment something rude, or whatever, like, you have the choice to either buy into that or not. Do not give power to that. You have the choice to either, give them power or not. And hopefully you will choose the latter, because again, everyone is just you pushed out, and technically you manifested that, but you don't have to worry about that too much, or why you manifested that. But every single thing can be traced down to a thought and an assumption that you have. And it can be kind of, it is kind of like a harsh truth, but it's also liberating at the same time, because if you created that, you can uncreate that 100%. And I really do accept that as the truth. Okay, I really do accept that I'm the creator of my reality, and if I created anything that is unpleasant, I have the power to uncreate that. Okay, so yeah, just understand that you are the operative power in your reality, and just don't give your power to anyone else. I probably said that so many times, but it's something I really want you to impress onto your subconscious. Okay, but faith is all about having trust in the unknown and belief that manifestation works. Okay, fear versus faith. Do not give any power to your fear, only have faith. Okay, it's as simple as that. Have faith that manifestation works. Okay, again, if you have a hard time believing your manifestation, that's fine. I'm not telling you necessarily to have faith in your specific manifestations, although if you do, that is great. That will always work out in your favor. That will never not work for you. But if you have a hard time, don't worry too much, because I always say sometimes people have such a hard time, like, trying to feel, that they focus more on the actual feeling than the manifestation. And like, you don't have to do that. If you do feel things, great. If you do feel like what it's like to be with your SP right now, what it's like to be married to them, what it feels like to be a millionaire, I mean, that is great, all the more to you. But if not, you can affirm and persist, and that will impress onto your subconscious mind, and you will get your manifestation regardless. Again, the only person that is in the way of you and your manifestation is you. Okay, your manifestations, if you don't want something, you have the power to stop that from happening. Okay, there have been times where, like, I was manifesting for an SP and I just stopped caring about them, and like they came back like months later, like I didn't even want them anymore, and they came back. But again, that's not to say that they'll only come back when you stop caring. That is not the case at all. Like I said, where your attention goes, that's where energy flows, and what you focus on is what grows. So if you want your SP, if you want something, keep affirming for that, keep affirming for them. Do not stop. If you do take a break once in a while, I mean, that'll be fine. That won't like work against you, because at the end of the day, again, it's your dominant thoughts that manifest. And it's like, if you've been like doing a lot to manifest a certain person, or like whatever certain type of relationship, you will 100% get that. Okay, you have to know that you will get it no matter what. You'll get it no matter what state you're in. Yeah, sorry, at this point I'm just rambling, but I really do want you to understand that, like, it's on its way to you. Just trust in the unseen. Trust in, I guess in the spiritual world we call it 5D. Trust that things will happen. Trust that you will get everything that you want in the best form. Okay, use that as an affirmation. I always manifest what I want in the best form, in the best way possible. Okay, you can also say things like, I manifest effortlessly, I manifest fast, all my manifestations come to me fast and in the best way possible. Okay, again, affirm and persist. That is, if I could sum up manifestation in 2 words, it would be affirm and persist. Also, 2 other things you should know is have high self-concept, or work on your self-concept. Okay, you can still manifest things without having high self-concept. It's just self-concept is good for like just making you feel good, at peace, at ease about your manifestations. It's good for really reaffirming your faith and confidence in your manifestations, and also helping the manifestation stay. Again, you don't need self-concept to manifest, but I would say it's a good thing. It'll never work against you to say nice things about yourself, right? So just do self-concept and change your assumptions about whatever it is that you want. And the best way to doing these 2 things is to affirm and persist. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I'm getting a little bit redundant, but I'm kind of like your cheerleader here. I'm cheering you on. You can do this, you can get this. If I can do this, anyone can. I do have videos on how I manifested 3 of my SPs, how I'm in a relationship with my main SP. I don't really care about any other people anymore. They're not my SPs anymore, but I do have a couple of videos on that with receipts, with screenshots. Okay, I am living my dream life. My love life is ideal. Like literally every aspect of my life is thriving. I'm saying that, but I'm also telling you to use that as an affirmation, and you can check out those videos on my Law of Assumption Manifestation playlist, which you can find if you go on my channel and click on the playlist section. So yeah, okay, let me move on to the next point. So I guess there's not really like separate points. I kind of just like wrote everything down all at once, you know. But the whole thing that I was saying about fear and faith, a lot of the times giving into fear could feel really safe, okay, because you're used to thinking that way. It could feel comfortable, and you know, if that is the case, then you know you're gonna attract more of the things that you don't want. You're gonna attract more of the things that you are fearful of. So this is a sign that you should completely just change that way of thinking. Okay, if fear is your dominant way of thinking, make sure it's faith. And it's okay to have doubts, it's okay to sometimes feel anxious. You will still get whatever you want, but don't live in fear, is what I'm saying. Okay, don't live in like constant victim mentality. Don't live in, you know, don't focus on anything that isn't in alignment with your manifestations. Okay, if you're trying to manifest a happy committed relationship with your specific person, would you be thinking that, oh, does my SP even like me or not? Like, would you be thinking like, oh, are they following other people? Because like, see, the keywords here are happy committed relationship. Okay, in a happy committed relationship, you know, there's loyalty, there's trust, there's you know, like just faith that things are working out. Okay, all of these, like, you know, positive things. So you have to think from that mindset, you have to think from that perspective. Okay, everything's okay. Your SP loves you, they're into you, they're loyal to you. You're the only person they think about. You're the last person they think about before going to sleep, the first person they think about when they wake up. You have to keep telling yourself all these things, okay? And I promise you they will manifest. Things will happen. Things will shift, okay? Actually, the more you affirm, like, your SP literally hears those, and, you know, they will conform to you. It just works. Believe in the unseen, believe in the unknown. Yeah, there's always so much happening behind the scenes. Don't worry too much about the how. Maybe if you are kind of worried about, like, you know, things going like haywire, because sometimes people notice that, like, you know, things go completely the opposite before they get better, and you're not into that. Maybe you can manifest that. Everything always works out for me in the best way possible, and that implies that even the process of manifestation is good. It's easy. You're gonna, like, I guess, like in manifesting your SP, like I have heard of some instances of, like, you know, the SP like legit, like, you know, dating someone else, or there's a third party, but then they did end up getting their SP back. You don't have to go through that. You don't have to, like, you know, see your SP hit rock bottom, or see them with another person, or see them following other people. None of that has to happen. Okay, just affirm that, like, you know, the bridge of events is always positive. I always see good things in my 3D reality. Manifestation is always perfect. Everything is always unfolding for me in the best way possible. Okay, I'm going to repeat that again. Everything's always unfolding for me in the best way possible. Again, that implies that the bridge of incidents is also positive, because I know that can be kind of like, you know, that can play into the whole fear factor, that can cause more resistance, and that can make you kind of, you know, lose faith in your manifestations. And this is all about, like, you know, the key here is to have faith that things are working out. So if, you know, if you feel like that is something that you have noticed happening, or can sometimes work against your favor, just affirm the opposite. Everything is unfolding for me in the best way possible. Okay, but it is really important to not play into that fear factor, to not give any meaning or assignment, you know, to doubts, limiting beliefs, fears, anxiety. Okay, I know sometimes it can feel kind of safe to think that way, but when you start affirming and persisting from a, you know, from the perspective where you're faithful to your desire, where you have faith in your desire, where you have strong conviction in just manifestation in general. When I say desire, again, I mean just like the process, just manifestation in general. Or like you just have faith that your manifestation will come to you. You have faith that your SP will conform, that your SP and you will be in a happy committed relationship. You know, that will soon become your dominant way of thinking, okay? And anytime anything that pops up that triggers you, anytime anything that triggers you pops up, you're not going to feel as dejected. You're not going to feel any sort of resistance. You're not going to, like, you know, you're just not going to focus on it, because your focus and attention will be on faith. Your focus and attention will be on the good that you're creating, on the positive things that you're manifesting, on the abundance that you're manifesting. Okay, so, you know, a lot of times doing self-concept is so helpful, because it anything that works against you, any sort of triggers, any sort of limiting beliefs, like either you won't see them at all, either you won't see those triggers, or you won't feel that as much. And like at the end of the day, that is the goal. That is the goal, to be very neutral about like negative things or things that don't work out in the favor. Okay, the only thing you should be giving meaning to is positive things that are in alignment with your manifestations, that are conducive to you getting your full manifestation. That too, okay, that is all you have to focus on. Okay, and you don't have to focus on what you don't want. In fact, if you get thoughts like, okay, that have to do with like limiting beliefs, like, oh, my SP said this and this, my SP said that we're never getting back together, my SP said he doesn't care or they don't care, like whatever, you have to stop focusing on that. Okay, flip the script. Maybe, yeah, come to terms with those feelings and how that made you feel, but then flip it. Okay, your SP said that they love you, they care about you, they're into you. You're the only person they've ever loved. Okay, you're literally married to this person. Creation is already done. You're not creating, you're just stepping into the version of the reality where you have that. Okay, this is not the law of attraction, this is the law of assumption. Everything you have already exists. Okay, it's just a matter of you believing it, believing that manifestation works, and stepping into that reality where you have that. And the best way to do that, again, is to affirm and persist in your affirmations. Okay, I'm going to be saying that throughout the video, again, as a motivator. But a lot of the times, I was able to successfully manifest my SP, and I would see the same things pop up. I would see a lot of videos on my, TikTok For You page and on Instagram and on YouTube saying that you just have to affirm and persist and you will get it. And, something just clicked within me and I ended up getting it. Okay, so use everything, to your benefit. Yeah, okay, that brings me to another point that I wanted to say. Every single thing is a sign that things are working out, okay? Even if it's not, it is. Okay, even if it's not, it is. Like, even if you see something that does trigger you, it's a sign that things are moving. At least something happened. Okay, even if it moved in the opposite direction, you have to not use that word. Okay, opposites, it doesn't exist. Nothing, everything is always happening for, you know. Everything that's happening is bringing you closer to your desire. Everything is always happening for your benefit. Everything is always happening so that you can get your manifestation. Okay. Anytime something happens, think you are this much closer to your desire. Okay, every single thing is always working out for me. Okay, say that as an affirmation. Everything is always working out in my favor. Everything always works out for me in the best way possible. Every single thing I see is bringing me closer to my manifestation. Okay, it doesn't even matter what it is. Okay, if it's negative, positive, doesn't matter. Again, don't assign any meaning to the negative, but the things are happening, things are shifting. Okay. There's always movement, always movement. And the best way to even see movement is to keep affirming and persisting, like I said. Yeah, sorry, I know I sound like a broken record, but like my solution to everything is affirm and persist. I've helped out some people. I've had manifestation buddies, and that is what I would say, that is what we would tell each other, because a lot of the times when we feel like giving up, I guess it has been the case, I guess this is just my assumption, that's when things actually are shifting. That's when things are actually moving. That is actually a sign that you have to affirm and persist now more than ever. Okay, don't do it to the point where you get exhausted. I'm not saying completely exhaust yourself or anything, or stress yourself out, but if you see that things are a little bit stagnant or not moving in your favor, again, that doesn't even exist, just keep affirming and persisting. Just be like, no, I'm close to my manifestation. I'm getting whatever I want. I am getting my manifestation in the best way possible. Okay, things are always working out for me. Things are always working out in my favor. It's like literally sometimes even you can't get in the way of your manifestation, because you still end up getting those manifestations even months later after you've given up. Unless you say you don't want it, then you won't get it. But again, don't focus on anything you don't want. Don't focus on any of those limiting beliefs, any of those old thoughts that you might have had about your SP, or even something that your SP did that triggered you. That's just some other reality. Okay, you were just in some video game, you were just wearing a VR headset. I don't know why, but I've been giving that example a lot. If you've ever played Mario Kart, how there's different terrains that you can choose from, different backgrounds and stuff like that. Be like, you know what, I don't want this, I want another reality. I want to be in the golf background. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, but hopefully you get the gist. Okay, so yeah, don't get comfortable with having faith in your manifestations, or having faith that manifestation works. Don't get comfortable with fear. Okay, have faith be your dominant way of thinking. and have your faith in yourself be the dominant way of thinking. Have you loving yourself, having, you know, a good self-concept be your dominant way of thinking. A lot of the times, you know, our brain goes to like, oh my gosh, I messed up, oh my gosh, this person might think like, you know, weirdly of me, or oh my gosh, like, you know, you have to flip the script. You have to think the opposite. In fact, every time you have doubts or anxieties or any sort of insecurities that pop up, just affirm the opposite, okay? You're amazing. You're beautiful. If you think that you don't look good without makeup, you look amazing without makeup, okay? Tell yourself in the mirror, like, hey, I look beautiful. I am amazing. I'm radiant. I am mesmerizing, ethereal, stunning, okay? Yeah, sorry. I am giving a lot of tips here, but again, self-concept really does help. And if you watched any of my videos, you know that I will always hype up self-concept. It will help you get your it will help you keep your manifestations. Again, it's not necessary, but doing self-concept will just bring about other things. When I started my specific person manifestation journey, I actually ended up manifesting a lot of other things, like a double promotion. I manifested having to not pay a bill. I don't even know what happened, but like, yeah, I used to live in New York, and my electricity bill, I didn't have to pay for like the last couple months I was there, and everything in New York is kind of expensive, okay? And like, just so many other good things happened to me. A lot of like, you know, just you will manifest a lot of abundance when you do self-concept, okay? And even when I started manifesting for SP, I started manifesting for a lot of other things. I started manifesting for other people. I started manifesting for you know, like health and other people's health, and a lot of that paid off. There's a video, I have already made a video on that. I just need to edit it, but it will come out really soon on how to manifest for others, how to manifest appearance, how to manifest health for yourself and others as well, okay? Because I have manifested a lot, and like, I absolutely love manifesting for others, okay? So yeah, I mean, another tip that I have here, and like, again, you don't have to do this, but like, every time you manifest for yourself, like, sometimes, you know, Neville even said, like, when you manifest for other people, when you manifest good things for other people, good things happen to you. And again, you don't have to do that. It's not necessary. I just noticed that it works for me. I really love, you know, seeing my friends and family thrive. But Neville did say something like that. And this isn't like a strictly Neville channel. There are certain things that Neville says that I don't quite resonate with, like, you have to feel in order to get your desires. That's not necessarily the case. And, you know, Neville wouldn't even be mad if I said that, okay? I know some people get really triggered if people don't follow Neville exactly. You don't have to do that, okay? Neville literally says whatever you assume is what ends up being your reality, okay? He preached the law of assumption, and these were all his assumptions, and he even made that clear. So yeah, another thing that I wanted to point out. Okay, so the other point that I want to talk about is limiting beliefs, okay? Some of you might have, or just, yeah, some of you might have limiting beliefs that, like, you know, you need to like heal, and your person needs to heal in order to be a relationship, or they have emotional baggage, or they have trust issues, or blah blah blah. That is not true, okay? Like, I have always said that an ideal relationship, you know, includes healing and growing with your partner, okay? I mean, if you feel like, you know, there's still some like healing that you need to do before getting in a relationship, then by all means do that, okay? But you don't have to be this like 100% like fully healed, perfect person to be in a relationship. That's more like law of attraction stuff. No one is like, I guess this is just my assumption, but I should technically be saying the opposite. Like, you know, no one is perfect. Actually, you are perfect. I'm perfect. We are all perfect. Everyone is perfect, okay? But like, I guess just for the purposes of this video, you know, a lot of you definitely could have seen posts on social media about, like, you know, you have to heal before finding your soulmate. You have to do shadow work. Let me just tell you, that is not required, okay? I would say the only time, like, you know, someone shouldn't be in a relationship with someone is if they're just straight up toxic or abusive, but you can also change that. But like, I would never, you know, recommend manifesting like being with anyone like that. But like, you know, I'm getting a little bit off tangent here, but yeah, you don't, your SP doesn't have emotional baggage. If they keep talking about like, oh, emotional baggage, I have trust issues, harsh truth, but also liberating truth, you manifested them to appear that way, and you can unmanifest that. You can wish their emotional baggage away, okay? You can be like, no, they're healed, they're open to receiving and giving love, they're ready to be with me right now, they're ready, they've always been ready, they want me, I am, you know, their one and only, I'm the only person they've loved, I'm the only person they've been in love with, and why would they not? Because I'm amazing, I'm awesome, okay? You know, for every for every specific person affirmation you do a self-concept affirmation. In fact, do 2 to 3 self-concept affirmations, because that really helps expedite your manifestations. That helps makes your manifestations more effective, efficacious, and helps you keep your manifestations as well, okay? So yeah, you know, of course your SP loves you because you're amazing, you're the ideal partner, okay? Anyone would be lucky to be with you, okay? say those as many times as you need to impress on your subconscious. But yeah, the point here is that you do not need to do anything to really manifest or get rid of anything to manifest, because it's already there. It's already, you know, it already exists. It's just a matter of you like believing that you're able to get whatever you want. Okay, because if you think about it, I know people are definitely gonna, you know, I'm not even gonna finish that sentence, but if you think about it, we have been manifesting our entire lives. You have been manifesting before you even knew about conscious manifestation. And you were definitely able to manifest things regardless of your state of mind, okay? You don't have to be high vibrational to manifest. That is a total law of attraction myth. I started off with law of attraction, but I don't believe in that anymore. Law of attraction didn't really get me anywhere, because like attracts like, that's not even true. There have definitely been times where I have not attracted like. I've seen empath, you know, narcissistic paradigms. I've attracted like really good grades, even though I thought I was going to completely fail a class and my vibration was low. You guys, no, don't do this vibration stuff, okay? Like, even if someone believes in law of attraction, law of assumption is still in play. It's still in effect. It's their assumption that the law of attraction works. And yeah, technically, like, no one is wrong, okay? Like, I'm really not trying to bash on anyone that believes in the law of attraction, but personally, I got like almost nowhere with that. I did manifest a couple of things, but the minute I started doing law of assumption, I was able to manifest like all my SPs like this. I was able to manifest a promotion, like double promotion within like 6 months. I don't even know how that happened, but like it did. I do know, because I'm smart and I'm impressive and I have great work ethic, okay? Literally, you have to hype yourself up that much. Like, this is how you get anything in life. Confidence really is the key here, okay? But you definitely don't have to be in a certain vibration to manifest. I don't even know like what, like, I know what vibration is, but like it's just like, you know, you're manifesting all the time, okay? It's about your thoughts, it's about your dominant beliefs, it's about your assumptions, not about your energy, not about your vibrations, because that just has not been the case if you've been manifesting your entire life. And if you manifested good things when you were feeling low and bad things when you were feeling high, I mean, yeah, all of that, it's just, if you believe in that, that's totally fine. But with the law of assumption, we don't really practice that here, okay? Law of assumption is just whatever your dominant beliefs are, whatever your assumptions are, that's what's going to manifest. Also, the whole thing I said about, like, you know, you manifested bad things when you were high, I mean, like, there's no such thing as bad things. Take that out of your mind, okay? A lot of the things I'm saying, I'm just saying for the purposes of this video. But another thing that I wanted to point out is that you can say only my positive thoughts manifest, okay? Because we do on average get 60,000 thoughts a day. Imagine if all of them manifested, okay? Like, that would be kind of chaotic, to say the least, okay? So it's only your dominant thoughts that manifest. And I would say have your dominant assumption be only my positive thoughts manifest. Okay? Don't give credence to your negative thoughts. Don't give power to your negative thoughts. You are more than your negative thoughts. Okay? It's okay to have them. It's a normal thing to have them. It would be great if, like, you know, no one had them at all, but, like, you know, I guess, you know, at the end of the day, we are human. Anxiety is normal. But, you know, when you start practicing self-concept, when you start saying things like, I only think positive things, or only my positive thoughts manifest, I promise you, you will feel a lot less anxious, you will feel a lot less triggered, and you will see evidence of your manifestations, okay? You will see your manifestations coming in fast and hot. And there was a point in 2021 when I manifested all my SPs, I manifested a double promotion, where it was like an overwhelming amount of abundance in the best way possible, okay? That's also another manifestation you can use. You know, add some spice, add some pizzazz. Like, I see an overwhelming amount of abundance in my life. My manifestations just flow to me like an avalanche, okay? Yeah, be as creative as you want, okay? Sky's the limit, not to sound cliche, but yeah. You know, just understand that everything's always working out in your favor. There's always movement in there's always movement in a positive direction that's in alignment with your manifestations, okay? There is always movement, period. And in fact, I would even say there's always positive movement, okay? That I do feel like that will help expedite things as well. And also command your subconscious. That's something else that I wanted to talk to you about. Instead of commanding your SP like in your mind, I mean, you can do that. I have heard of instances where that works. I would say that commanding your subconscious is really what's going to help, because your SP is not outside of you, okay? So it's like, if you want to command your SP in your mind to like commit to you, to be with you, just command your subconscious. Be like, hey, subconscious, let's have a little talk here. Let's bring about my SP in the best way possible, okay? Talk to yourself like however, you know, you feel natural. Sometimes commanding, I do think, does help. It does work. I'm someone that is a little bit more, like, I guess, passive in nature. Like, I don't really command people, like, oh, you'll do this for me, or blah, blah, blah. I just have a different way of talking. So, for me, I'll literally be just like, hey, subconscious, let's have a chat. I want you to understand that you are the operant power. You know, let's collab to bring about these things into my reality, okay? I know it sounds so crazy, but I promise you, this really does work, okay? It really does. Yeah. And another affirmation I recommend saying is, I always get what I want when I want it and in the best way possible, okay? Manifesting is easy and effortless. I always get what I want. Okay, I'm just repeating affirmations. Like, I write down a lot of these affirmations multiple times, so you'll hear me say that again and again. But again, that's the best way of impressing things onto your subconscious, and therefore bringing about your manifestations in your 3D reality. There are some people that, things come easier to them than other people. That's because they already had the dominant assumption that whatever it is that they're trying to manifest, comes easy to them, so they don't have to manifest, or they don't have to affirm that much for that specific desire. I'll give you an example. For me, manifesting abundance has been really easy for me. I literally, like, I made a 6-figure salary right out of college. I get a lot of, like, I have like multiple streams of income. I'm getting like money every single week. Okay, I get at least like an extra $500 every single week without having to like work super hard. Yeah, it's been, career manifestations have always been pretty easy for me, like even getting promoted. And the thing is, I didn't even really believe in that, but I just knew that, like, I always attract abundance and prosperity. In fact, one of my main affirmations are, I am always successful, abundant, and prosperous, and every single aspect of my life is thriving, okay? But again, I didn't need to manifest too much for money affirmations or like material abundance, because I just have the dominant underlying assumption that I'm always successful and that I'm always financially stable and then some, that I always have more than enough money to spend, okay? For other people, they do have to do a little bit more to make that their dominant assumption, which they definitely will. For some people, believe it or not, manifesting relationships have been really easy, okay? I have a best friend. She's happily married to the love of their life. They have 2 dogs. Yeah, like, they're legit, like, this friend, every aspect of her life is thriving, and I can see that, okay? Of course, she does have, like, certain things, like, day-to-day, like, normal problems, like, oh, like doing the chores and stuff like that, but like her life is like so amazing, it's so perfect. And like, like, I can see that, like, we're best friends, we share each other, okay? And like, she's been, she did go through certain things in her relationship. She did get cheated on and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I mean, she's always like, she's always had like pretty good relationships, okay? Like, even the ones that, like, didn't work out, like, she just had this mentality that, like, things always do work out for her, okay? Like, she didn't let that relationship deter her. Like, that's the whole point that I was trying to make. She did have, like, a relationship that did cause her a lot of like anxiety and pain, but she never said like, oh, men are trash, men are stupid, I don't trust men. In fact, like, I've heard so many people say that, and I used to be like that too. And I realized that, like, the more I said that, the more I started seeing that in my reality. You have to stop affirming that love is hard, or love is, it doesn't, it's something that you have to work really hard towards. You have to, like, be this like perfect like version of yourself to manifest that. No, none of that is true, okay? It's only true if you assume it to be true, but it doesn't have to be, okay? Nothing is hard, nothing is beyond your reach. Yeah, I guess for some people it is, they are able to manifest relationships, really long lasting relationships, easier because they're just really confident in themselves, and they're really confident that, like, things do work out, that, love isn't like a bad thing, that, men aren't trash, women aren't trash, like, they only affirm things that are in their that are in alignment with their manifestations, okay? And I really have noticed that, so be careful what you're telling your subconscious, okay? Even if you see like something happening, like, let's say you read a post about like how this dude cheated on this, like, girl or something like that. I mean, like, you have to not give credence to anything that's negative, okay? If you see posts about, like, couples doing PDA and stuff like that, and if you're thinking like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying, like, oh, there's so many comments on TikTok about like, okay, BRB jumping off a bridge, BRB blocking you and stuff like that, you have to not think that way. You have to see that as a sign that things are working out in your favor. If you see a lot of couples, a lot of people getting together, guess what? That's a sign that it's going to happen for you. That's the way you have to think, okay? You have to, like, everything that you want to see in your reality, when you see it happening to other people, or like, in the 3D world, you have to take that as a sign that it's going to happen for you, and you have to think positively of that. And if you see anything that isn't like that, if you hear a lot about divorces or negative experiences, you have to be like, okay, well, you know what, this is just one potential reality. This is just one way reality can play out, but not in my reality. Bye. Okay? That's literally how you have to think. So yeah. Okay, so I also want to talk about social media. Okay, if you're trying to manifest your person, please stop checking their social media. And this is something that I had to tell myself as well. It's okay to check it sometimes, and it's okay to check it as long as you're going to be fine with the outcome. Okay, if you want to check it, if you have this urge to check it, then go ahead. But just make sure you'll be okay after that, because a lot of the times, if you're checking their social media every single day, you know, you might see something that triggers you, and that might cause resistance. However, if you're okay with that, if you've neutralized, you know, anything that you don't want to see, if you're neutral to, you know, if you have neutral feelings for anything that you don't want to see, then all the more to you. Okay, but if you're someone that, like, if you notice their follower count go up, and you know that just makes you like feel really fearful, you know, the whole thing that I was talking about, fear versus faith, then you know that can kind of like hinder your confidence in manifesting and cause resistance, and it'll put you through that negative cycle. It'll, you know, you'll feel anxious, and you don't want that, right? So just don't do that. You know, don't do anything that you feel like is gonna hurt you or hurt your manifestations in any way. You'll still manifest what you want. Okay, the key, like, something I want you to take away from this video is that no matter what, you will still get what you want. Okay, you're still going to manifest your specific person. They're still going to come back. But I really do have this assumption that things would work a lot faster and more effectively if you just focused on your manifestations, if you focused on affirming and persisting without, you know, the need for, you know, checking their social media or the need for external confirmation. Okay, sometimes it's okay to do that. I myself, you know, do tarot readings and sometimes even pull tarot cards to see where I'm at with my manifestations. That's okay. Just don't do it too much, or maybe just do it in a way that you're okay with whatever you know, see, whatever you see in your reality. Or, you know, don't go to tarot readers that are triggering. Okay, just maybe watch tarot readings that are really positive, that you know are gonna say nice things. Okay, but I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing outside of you, so you don't really need to be seeking confirmation in the 3D. Okay, but if you have done it, it's okay. And again, it's okay to do it sometimes, but just don't do it too much. That's what I mean to say. Okay, like, I know I sound like totally ambivalent. I sort of have, like, you know, mixed feelings on this. I would say though, social media can be pretty triggering. So like, if you are, you know, if you're someone that likes checking their snap scores and then you just feel dejected, don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay, and be conscious of your actions, be conscious of your thoughts. Is this thought making you feel good? How is it making you feel? And it's, again, it's okay to feel negative, it's okay to feel anxiety, because at the end of the day, you are human. But if you know that, like, there's something that you do that sometimes does end up making you feel a certain way that you don't like, then just don't do it. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so yeah. Another thing that I did want to point out is that you can say that I always see evidence of my manifestations in the 3D. So if you are someone that does like 3D confirmation, which again, it's not the worst thing, okay? It's okay to want that to an extent, you know, everything in moderation. You can just say, I always see evidence of my manifestations in the 3D. In fact, sometimes that does reinforce your faith and conviction in your manifestation. It does strengthen, you know, your power in yourself as a master manifester. It does strengthen your power in yourself as the operant power. It does reinforce your manifestation abilities. Okay, sometimes even manifesting signs, like, that's okay. Like, it's not the worst thing. Manifesting signs is okay. Like, sometimes if you feel like you need a little bit more confidence, you can try manifesting signs. But at the end of the day, I feel like the best course of action is just to affirm and persist. Okay, don't worry about anything that's not your full manifestation, because you will get your full manifestation. You will get exactly your manifestation. I promise you that. I have gone through this myself multiple times, and again, I have proof and screenshots and receipts. So if you're interested in that, do check that out. But you will get exactly what you want no matter what, and keep affirming that I get whatever I want no matter what. Also, something else that I wanted to point out is that if you did react, it's not the end of the world. Okay, shift your focus as fast as you can and start persisting in your affirmations. Like I said, flip the script and start affirming the opposite of what you see that isn't what you want to see, the opposite of what you see that is not in alignment with your manifestations. Okay, just shift your focus. Just be like, no, I don't want this, not in my reality. Bye. okay? Um, Reacting, it's not the worst thing, but just don't do it too much, okay? Sometimes we do react, it's okay. But the goal here is to just, you know, not do anything until you get your manifestation, or not do anything, not what am I even saying at this point, but like, my point is, try not to react, okay? And just know that even if you do react, things will still work, but you will notice that sometimes when you react, things could kind of slow down. You might feel a little bit of resistance, there could be a delay. Just so you know, if you know that, then just don't do it, you know what I mean? Like, I know it's easier said than done. I know sometimes it's hard not to react, but don't do things that you know, don't do things or indulge in things that might cause you to react and cause resistance, is what I'm saying. So one of those things could be checking their social media. One of those things could be maybe talking about your SP, and if you don't have them right now, with your friends. I mean, just try to like shift the conversation, okay? All about just shifting the focus, changing your thoughts, changing the way you see things, changing your mentality to be conducive to your desires, changing your mentality for in a way where you're in alignment with your desires and only doing things from that perspective, okay? But regardless of anything, you are going to be getting whatever you want. Your SP is on their way to you right now. Your perfect love life is going to manifest in the most beautiful way possible. Okay, you will have a successful love life and career life. You don't have to give up one for the other. That could also be another limiting belief. You know, there's so many that we see, and like even like social media in general. Like sometimes there are blogs that disguise themselves as motivational blogs, or pages that disguise themselves as motivational pages that are not very motivational at all. Because like I literally saw this one post that said like, oh, no one's loyal these days, everyone's just out for themselves, you know, you gotta just, you either will have a good love life or a good career life, there's no in between. Like, oh my gosh, no, those are limiting beliefs to the max, okay? You have to stop thinking that way, or that your person has to hit rock bottom before things can really change, or your SP has to go through this before they can come back. No, 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 no. Your SP is already on their way back to you, and they're coming back in the best way possible. They are already healed, okay? They are already the best version of themselves, okay? They are in love with you. They want you and only you. They have eyes for you and only you, okay? And they don't have any emotional baggage. They're done with that. After they met you, you know, they didn't even know what love was until they met you. And any sort of emotional baggage they had disappeared when they met you. You literally have to start thinking that way, okay? So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. I really hope this helped. If you have any questions about manifestation, or if there's a certain topic that you want to see me address, let me know in the comments below. I will try to address them there or in a future video. And I will end the video right here. And yeah, thank you so much. I will see you all next time.